Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, ASHISH MALIK IS Academy. And we are here for the daily The Hindu newspaper based MCQ. Like I promised, guys, I'm going to start this The Hindu newspaper based MCQs for your exams. Here we are today. We are going to discuss 17th of the April 2020. So, what exactly we have today for the sharing, guys? Let's begin the session, and you try to give the answer as many as possible. So we'll start with the question number one today, guys. Question number one is what you have is based on the map marking, basically. So the question says which of the following pairs are correctly matched. So you are on one side you are given the places in the news. On the second side we have the ocean where these places are located. So basically, I have a list of islands. So it says first is the Reunion Island, and the option which is against it is Indian Ocean. Second is your Assumption Islands, and basically these all the three islands, Reunion, Assumption, and Falkland Islands, all the three are the one which are in news for so many reasons, guys, right? And all of them are very strategic, and somehow they are part of some dispute. So, and third option says the Falkland, which is a part of South Atlantic Ocean, and Assumption is South Pacific. So you need to tell me out of these three which should be the right answer, which is correctly matched that you are supposed to find out. For that, guys, you need to have a strong map practice, right? Very, very soon, I will also launch a course basis on the map. But as of now, you should know the true answer, the real answer of this one is actually A, because second option, we do not have the right one. So if you look at the positions of these three islands, so I will try to tell you the exact position with the help of some of the maps. So look at this one, guys. If you look at the map, so here we have the Reunion Islands. So this here we have the Reunion Islands, and they are the part of Indian Ocean as mentioned there. So yes, Reunion Islands we have here, very close to Madagascar. Madagascar itself is a part of African continent, but yeah, it is not the part of mainland, but it is considered as a part of Africa. So Indian Ocean के अंदर आते हैं आपके Reunion Islands, Mauritius के भी बहुत ज़्यादा करीब है, तो दोनों चीजें ध्यान रखेंगे. Plus one important point, do take care, guys, that the Reunion Islands, they are actually above the Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Capricorn we have is 23.5 degree south. So Reunion Island ये Tropic of Capricorn के north में है. कभी कभी इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है to make you little bit confused कि भाई Tropic of Capricorn के south में है, north में है. So you should be aware Reunion Island are on the north of Tropic of Capricorn. Here we have the Falkland Islands. So Falkland Islands are clearly part of Atlantic. Which particular part? We have the South Atlantic. South Atlantic because they are near to Argentina. So Falkland Islands are basically, they are right now they are under the administration of UK. So United Kingdom is the one which has the administrative control over the Falkland Island. And reason is that these Falkland Islands, they are very, very rich in oil and gas, guys. Because they are so much rich in oil and gas, that's why UK has kept these islands under its control. However, Argentina claims it. Argentina has put the claim on these Falkland Islands. So sometimes there can be question that the Falkland Islands, they are a matter of dispute between which two countries. So if the dispute is in the news, then your answer should be the dispute is between UK and Argentina. So very important, guys. Moving on to the third part, which is the third island group we have. So that is your Assumption Island. So look at these. Look at the Indian Ocean once again, guys. If you look at the Indian Ocean, well, this is the position of the Assumption Islands, and they are part of Indian Ocean. They are not at all part of Atlantic Ocean, guys. Assumption Islands. If you look at the group of islands here, so here we have Mauritius. We have seen somewhere here we have seen the Reunion Islands, which we have already done. This is the Diego Garcia. This is actually US naval base, very, very strategic part. Your Diego Garcia. We have the Maldives, which is part of Indian Indian maritime neighbor, and Maldives is also part of SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Then we have Seychelles, very famous tourist destination. Seychelles is also part of African continent like Madagascar, And please understand, even the assumption island is something which is very, very important. And right now, even from Indian perspective, guys, India is actually utilizing, because all these islands are part of Indian Ocean, and all these islands are very, very strategic, very strategic islands. So we are actually taking care, we are actually trying to get as many as contract, as many as memorandum of understanding with all these islands to get the max benefit. For example, with Seychelles, India has got the MOU to build airstrip and docking facilities. So India is trying to utilize Seychelles Island for its airstrip activities, for airfare, and the docking for shipping activities basically. And with Mauritius, we have done the same airstrip and docking facility. So these islands, why I have taken that as a part of the news, guys, they're very important. They have been in news for one reason or the another. Anyways, moving on to the next question, guys. So the first question was a little bit in detail, but rest of the questions are, they're very basic, very fundamental. Question number 2 was, which article of the Constitution empowers the Supreme Court for complete justice? So whenever Supreme Court feels that there is a matter of delivering complete justice for some pending argument, so in that case, Supreme Court uses which of the following articles? Well, the right answer needs to be Article 142. This is the article giving Supreme Court the utmost power. And very recently, if you have been following the news, very recently, Supreme Court has used it in Babri Masjid case. अभी जो recently Ayodhya dispute था. So in this Ayodhya dispute, land dispute, इसमें जो फैसला किया गया है, in that article 142 was invoked, and that's why this becomes very important, guys, and a very expected question है. Article 142 को अच्छे से prepare करके जाइएगा. Moving on to the next one. This is your question number 3. So question number 3 says, which of the following are correct with regarding to the Gulf Cooperation Council? I'm sure you must have heard the word GCC. It's very much in the news, guys. So out of these two statements, first, it was established in the year 1987. Second, its official language is Arabic. Which statement is correct? Though there can be a lot of information, I'm just trying to make it as concise as possible. So first information, the first statement is not correct, because Gulf Cooperation Council, which has 6 members, this was not formed in 1987, it was actually formed in 1981. Official language is Arabic. Yes, it is Arabic, undoubtedly. So right answer needs to be B. Only 2 is the right answer. So going by a little bit detail here, if you would like to see, so which are these 6 countries? So very easy way, I'm sure you know about the Gulf Peninsula. You think of the Gulf Peninsula, you keep some countries out of that. So except for Iran, except for Iraq and Yemen, you keep these 3 countries out. These 3 are excluded. And rest of the countries, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia being the largest country in the Gulf Peninsula. Of course, it's the largest with capital at Riyadh. Then we have Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, and UAE. So these are the 6 countries which form together as the Gulf Cooperation Council, right? That's the one having the Gulf Cooperation Council. Yes, language is Arabic. Undoubtedly, that is true. That is correct. Anyways, so going by the next question, we have the question number 4 in news, guys, where question number 4 says, with respect to the parliamentary privileges, consider the following statements. Well, parliamentary privileges is a very important topic because it has been in news for many reasons, guys. बहुत बार क्या होता है, privilege motion के बारे में आपने सुना होगा. It was in the news where some of the members they tried to float the privilege motion. So ये privilege motion के बारे में आप लोगों ने जरूर सुना होगा. It has been in news. So privilege motion क्या होता है, उससे पहले समझना होगा parliamentary privilege कहाँ से क्या होता है. ये हमारा जो concept है, we have taken this concept from UK. So यहाँ पे पूछा गया question के हिसाब से, only members are allowed to have the privileges. Yes, members have. No, it's not just a member. And second says the court cannot interfere in the proceeding of the houses. Well, right answer in this case needs to be B, because the parliamentary privileges are they are something which goes beyond the member of parliament. So you need to understand it's not just them, it is also the member of legislative assemblies. So legislative assembly ke MLA ho ya MP ho, both of them have the privileges, and these are certain privileges. For example, you cannot you can't call them on any of the judicial proceeding when the house is in the session. Whatever I'm talking about, though you have more details in Lakshmikant, and under the Article 105, the parliamentary privileges have been exclusively defined. So these are some of the rights. I mean, if you go by these articles, you will understand. I mean, whenever there is any house in session, तो जो भी आपके मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है या मेंबर ऑफ लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली, आप उनको नहीं बुला सकते। अगर आपको सिविल कोई सूट फाइल करना है, सिविल केस चलेगा, तो 2 महीने पहले आपको नोटिस देना पड़ेगा, राइट? एंड देयर आर अदर प्रिविलेजेस लाइक whatever is said by the member inside the house, उसके लिए आप उसको बाद में कोर्ट नहीं लेके जा सकते। मतलब अगर किसी मिनिस्टर ने कोई इंफॉर्मेशन या कोई बात कही है इनसाइड द हाउस, तो उनको इम्यूनिटी मिलती है। तो ऐसी सब चीजों को बोलते हैं पार्लियामेंट्री प्रिविलेजेस। अगर ये पार्लियामेंट्री प्रिविलेजेस बाय चांस ब्रीच किए जाते हैं किसी वजह से, या फिर ये मिस यूज किए जाते हैं, तो उसके अगेंस्ट आपका चलता है प्रिविलेज मोशन। ये बात थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे ध्यान रखेंगे। और प्रिविलेज मोशन जो है ये दोनों हाउसेस में चलता है, चाहे वो लोकसभा हो चाहे राज्यसभा हो, दोनों हाउसेस में चलेगा, दैट इज फॉर श्योर। Takes us to the question number 5 of the day. It says, which of the consider the following statements regarding the basic characteristics of the PVTG. अभी PVTG पहले बात तो क्या है वो मैं आपको बता दूं। PVTG stands for particular vulnerable tribal groups. Its full form is particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So we have many in India. We have a lot of tribal groups, right? But there are certain tribal groups which are very much vulnerable, where they really need some serious attention. So in total, the question says that which of these are the basic characteristics? How we get to know that this group of tribal people that should qualify for PVTG? So there are certain criteria, there are certain characteristics for that. So options that we have given is like mostly dangerous, large population, physically isolated, absence of the language. Yes, so all these can be the criteria. Right answer needs to be D. So here all of them can be the criteria. Based on that, we classify in total in India, we have 75 PVTGs, guys. In total, we have 75 groups as particular vulnerable group. And sometimes there's a question which says which Indian state has the maximum PVTG. So in that case, you should be aware it is Odisha. Odisha has the max PVTGs. I think 22 or something, 22, 24, ऐसा कुछ है. Don't know the exact number, but yeah, Odisha is the state having the maximum PVTG. Okay, so this is the basic information you should be aware of. Moving on to the next one, guys, and yeah, which ministry? This all comes under the Home Ministry for PVTG. Which groups needs to be added, which groups needs to be removed? That is under PVTG. But when it comes to the other welfare and all, so we have Ministry of Tribal Affairs for welfare and other implementation purpose. Well, that responsibility goes with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay, but when it comes to the decision of adding or subtracting anyone, that comes under Ministry of Home Affairs. So who should be, like, if the question is who should be a PVTG, well, that decision is Ministry of Home Affairs. But other programs implementation, Tribal Affairs. There are very sleek points you need to be very careful for. Then we have the next one. Next question number 6 says, which of the following statement they are correct regarding the olive ridley turtle? So options you have, first is that they breed in the cold water for Pacific Indian Atlantic Ocean. Then we have the next statement as that nesting is called as aribadas. So very careful statement. Sometimes, guys, we make a mistake and we don't read the statement properly and we read the half statement in very hurry. So please avoid that kind of casual reading of the question, because many times there are small slight changes which totally changes the question itself, guys. So as for example, in this question, The right answer is B, because first statement is wrong. Now you will ask why? Because the olive ridley turtle, which you should know that they are the smallest turtle in the world, for let's say, you should be aware of this. They are the smallest turtle in the world. Well, they breed. Yes, they breed in the water of Pacific, Indian, Atlantic. That's true, but not in the cold water, but in the warm waters of Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic. So that you should be aware of. Second thing, they have this special thing, olive ridley turtles, which are actually they have the status as vulnerable. They have the state IUCN status as vulnerable. So these vulnerable categories, they go under the mass nesting, guys. What is a mass nesting? Mass nesting means when there are thousands and thousands of turtles, they come to the nearby beaches. They come on the beaches and give a lot of eggs together. That's called mass nesting. And the mass nesting of olive ridley turtle has a special name. It's a name of mass nesting. The name is called as Aribadas. That is something very important for in India, guys. Especially the state of Odisha has a lot of breeding grounds. So, like we have the Rushikulia beach. We have the Gahirmat beach. If you guys have heard of that, so the Gahirmat beach. It is in Odisha, right? It's a part of Bhitarkarnika National Park. It's a part of Bhitarkarnika National Park. So if that is the case, and then you also have Rushikulia beach. So these are certain very famous breeding grounds of olive ridley turtle in India. So both of them, they are in state of Odisha. Moving on to the next one, guys, we have the next statement as that consider the following regarding conditions which are very favorable for temperature inversion. Well, those students who are new in the preparation, guys, probably you are not aware what temperature inversion is. Well, temperature inversion is a phenomena where the temperature increases with increase in altitude, which is reverse, which is totally opposite to what we have as normal lapse rate. So what is a normal lapse rate, guys? So there is a general phenomena, normal lapse rate is a general phenomena which says if you go 1 kilometer vertically above, there will be drop of temperature by 6.5 degree Celsius. This is normal because the more you go up, guys, there will be cooler condition, there will be cold condition. So every 1 kilometer if I go vertically up, there will be drop of temperature by 6.5 degrees Celsius. Now, in this particular case, if you will realize temperature inversion is just opposite. And to define it in a very simple sense, if by any chance, if there is a layer of cold, if this is a cold air, by chance we have the cold air, which is followed by warm air. If that is the condition, so downside we have the cold layer, cold air, and on top of that, which is very rare to be honest, because we all know as the warm air goes up, it becomes cool. But if the conditions are reversed, that's called the temperature inversion. It is a phenomena which specifically happens. So you have the options, favorable condition for that, like clear nights. We need long nights. Yes. So both of them are correct. We have certain conditions, guys. There are certain conditions like temperature inversion is something which you will find especially in the winters. And when I say winters, obviously in winters we have the long nights. Clear night. So night has to be cloudless. So there should be cloudless nights because because if there is any sort of interference by the clouds, the whole scenario changes, because clouds, they always raise the potential minimum temperature of the place and decreases the potential maximum of the temperature. So that interference is not at all required for temperature inversion. Plus there should be very less movement, very less vertical movement of the air. Air should not be moving much vertically, otherwise there will be all mixing and everything will be over, everything will be lost. So these are certain conditions which happen, which are favorable for temperature inversion. Moving on to the next question, guys. Question number 8 we have. Now, question number 8 is very interesting. It says the similarity between the Appalachian Mountains. So, Appalachian Mountain is a very famous mountain ranges, and I hope you guys know it that Appalachian Mountains you find in USA, right? Appalachian Mountains are part of the United States of America, and Aravalli Mountains, which is of course in India. So, do you know if there is any similarity? There can be, there cannot be, but you have to tell if there is any similarity between Appalachian Mountains and Aravalli Mountains. Option says that both of them are the oldest mountains. Second says both are volcanic mountain. Well, first is absolutely correct, guys. The Aravalli Mountains of India and Appalachian Mountains of USA, both of them, they are part of old fold mountains. And when I say old fold means they are the result of folding. Folding, when the stratas fold up, and how exactly this folding happens, you should be aware of that too, guys. When I say fold, so basically if you have any rock strata like this and it is subjected to some kind of compression, there is some kind of compressional stress which is pushing it inside. So maximum times it folds. It can fold up, it can fold down. If it fold up, this is called anticline. And if it fold downward, this is called syncline. So basically syncline is what we have valleys and anticline is what we have the mountains. So folding means, yes, we know they are the anticlines as a result of the compressional stress, fine. Fold is just because they as per the time scale, as per the geological time scale, they were constructed way back, guys, many thousands of years back. So that's why. And since they are old mountains, hence they have less absolute height. So they don't have much of the height. If you go by the average elevation of Aravalli is like 300, 400 meter on an average. So yeah, because the more old it is subjected to, and the reason for that is because of the exogenic forces. Because of the exogenic forces, which are called the levelers, like we have the erosion activity, weathering activity. So these are responsible for the reduction of the absolute height. Now you have the next question, guys, which is your question number 9. And this question number 9 says, consider the following regarding Harshvardhan kingdom. First point says its kingdom was centralized, matlab everything was given to the king, all legislative, executive, judicial functions. And second says there is no outside influence of any foreign ruler in his time. So which one you think is the right answer for this statement? Well, answer is D. Like both statements are absolutely correct. Reason, guys, the kingdom of Harshvardhan was not centralized. It was very much decentralized. Matlab there was concept of decentralization. That is, there is a division of power, you can say. There is a division of power followed by devolution of power. When I say devolution of power means authority, the king gives power to someone. And when I say division is subjected to some kind of treaty. That's called division of the power. And second says it has many invasions. No, very few. Very few invasions took place during the time of Harshvardhan. It was pretty stable, it was pretty stable kingdom with very less foreign interferences. And last one we have is, which of the following are the permanent executive? Who among the following are basically the permanent executive? The options you have is president, prime minister, bureaucrats, or the governor. Well, very simple question, straightforward, guys. If you understand what is a permanent executive, permanent executive is someone who does not change with the change of government. If the government changes, president changes, right? If the government changes, prime minister changes. Governors, they change even if there is no change in the government. So because of course governors are appointed under the hand and seal of the president. So definitely all the three cannot be part of permanent executive. It is the bureaucrat, guys. It is you people, the civil servants. So they are the part of permanent executive, because even if the government changes, they do not change. So right answer needs to be B. It is only 3. So they are called the permanent executives. And like always, guys, I have included some of the questions of the day, which you guys can use it for your answer writing practice. And today's question of the day we have is a very interesting part. The first question I've given you, try to give the answer of that, try to write the answer, post in the comment section box to get your evaluation. So today's question is critically analyze healthy people have healthy economy, because now you have to understand this is especially in the context of, you have to write in the context of COVID-19. In the context of the COVID-19 you have to write. And second statement says the telemedicine and telehealth, it is not here to replace any existing healthcare services but to complement them. So you need to critically evaluate. This is based on the editorial. It is based on editorial from the Hindu newspaper of 17th April itself. So you guys can take some of the information from this editorial because it's editorial based question. So I hope guys you have enjoyed the entire video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the entire session. If you like it guys, then definitely share it, like the video, share the video, comment your answers here, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel Ashish Malik Academy if you have not done yet. See you soon guys with the next video. Thank you so much. Take care. Jai Hind.